Good morning, everyone. It is Friday, March 27th, Literature with a Chicken. I know I've done a red chicken a few days in a row, or several of the videos, but in all honesty, the red chickens they're just easier to catch. So this chicken in particular, just to give you a little chicken background, this chicken in the hurricane a couple of years ago, the wind took part of the roof of the chicken coop off. And when we went in to rescue the chickens, she was underwater and under part of the chicken coop. So she had a pretty tough time. And she had to spend 2 days in the house in a blanket in a little makeshift chicken bed till she recovered. But anyway, so the only reason I can tell that is I don't know if you can see she's got one funny colored feather. So that's how I can tell her apart. So she doesn't have a name. If you want to name her, you can name her in the comments. What I want to talk to you about today is I posted a link to a poem that I'm going to read to you. The other day, you guys had really good comments about whether you thought Tom was going to go or whether Tom was going to stay. It seemed like it was kind of evenly mixed. What I'd like you to do sometime this weekend is either finish reading the play, of course, reading, you know. In the alternative, watch the play. We finished scene 2, so you'd start at scene 3 or watch the whole thing. I promise you it's worth it. Oh gosh, chicken, come on, chicken. No, you're fine. Okay, you're fine. So the play's definitely worth it. The inter-character conversations between Tom and his mother and Tom and Laura and how it ends up and what they do. It's I promise it's worth it. What I wanted to talk to you about today is a poem by Mary Oliver, and that the link to it is also posted in the assignment for the day. And it's a poem that when I left Pennsylvania to come to law school, my English professor gave to me. And because it was a really hard decision. I mean, I knew I was doing things that were good for me and my family, and I felt like I was doing the right thing, but it was still hard because it was leaving a lot of things behind that I had known forever. You know, I was born and raised in Pennsylvania. It was a big decision to move to Florida. So she'd given me this poem, and since then I've given this poem to lots and lots of people who were making difficult choices in their lives. And I wonder what Tom would think of this poem. And for your assignment, do Sunday night, because I want to give you today, tomorrow, and Sunday to work on it. I know it's the weekend and a lot of you have jobs. What I want you to do is consider how Tom and Mary Oliver kind of have the same viewpoint, but you've got to watch the play first or you're not going to understand it. And then whether you agree or disagree, are they doing the right thing? Are they not doing the right thing? How does that work with your worldview? And then submit that as an assignment. And again, please don't forget to sign in with your name on the post. The emails are hard to figure out sometimes because some of you are very creative with your emails, which I can appreciate. That's good creativity, but it makes it hard to do attendance, and I don't want to mark you absent if you in fact were watching chicken videos. So I'm going to read this play to you, or this play. I'm going to read this poem to you. I think it's worth the listen. Again, it's Mary Oliver, and the poem is called The Journey. And here we go. One day, you finally knew what you had to do and began, though the voices around you kept shouting their bad advice, though the whole house began to tremble and you felt the old tug at your ankles. Mend my life, each voice cried. But you didn't stop. You knew what you had to do. Though the wind pried with its stiff fingers at the very foundations, though their melancholy was terrible, it was already late enough, and a wild night, and the road full of fallen branches and stones. But little by little, as you left their voice behind, the stars began to burn through the sheets of clouds, and there was a new voice, which you slowly recognized as your own, that kept you company as you strode deeper and deeper into the world. determined to do the only thing you could do, determined to save the only life that you could save. So if that doesn't give away the ending of the play, I don't know what would. So how do we balance this? And that is what Tennessee Williams is really looking at in the play. Remember, back in our classroom, the coffin at the front of the room. It doesn't take any intelligence to get into a nailed up coffin. But whoever got out of one without removing a few nails? What that quote from the play is trying to illustrate is, throughout our lives, we find ourselves metaphorically into nailed up coffins, responsibilities, expectations, people we love, people who love us, things other people need from us. And sometimes we find ourselves in situations that they're really hard to get out of. Maybe the best course of action is not getting into them, but I don't know how you do that. Maybe the best course of action is not worrying about what anybody else thinks, but I don't know how you do that either. If you know how to do that, good for you. Good for you. But I think for the vast majority of us, we worry an awful lot what everybody else thinks or what everybody else expects from us, and it's really hard for us to kind of shake off those shackles. We know we're needed, and we continue to show up and do the things that are expected of us. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. I'm glad it's Friday. I'm sure you are too. Thank you again for your kind comments, your posts, your posts on the team viewer. Uh, it's made this so much easier dealing with this whole new world of education, knowing that I can turn my computer on and still chat with you guys and still see you and hear your comments. So I won't make this any longer than it needs to be. Watch the play. Read the poem. You got something to say? You got something to talk about? Watch the play. Read the poem. In the assignment is a little question prompt about whether you agree with Mary Oliver and Tennessee Williams or not, and how you go about doing that. So it'll be a writing prompt due Sunday night. Just do the best you can. I have to finalize grades. Grades go out, the quarter closes April 8th. So if you think you owe me anything, get it to me. I'll put it in the grade book. No one's trying to keep you guys from getting grades. So let me know how I can help. You can reach out to me on Teams in the chat feature. Try to look at it pretty much all day. So if you need something, let me know. Please, 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 if you are signing in, remind your friends that they need to put their name in that post. It's the easiest way for me to take attendance. I can just go through, see everybody's there, give you credit for showing up, and I don't want anybody to get dinged for not having attendance. So thanks again. Literature with a Chicken. Today, Mary Oliver's poem, The Journey, as compared to the Glass Menagerie, and I think she's had enough. But she's actually been a pretty good girl. So anyways, me and the chicken, chicken, me and the chicken, close up of the chicken, signing off. Have a great weekend. See you guys.